Hey everyone, just want to stop by before this podcast starts and say you should like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to follow me on all my social media at John D. Klauser. It's the same name as the name that they subscribe to on this YouTube channel. So enjoy this clip, and I'll see you guys on the other side.
This is not real. It's just a dream. Please, wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
Welcome to The John Show with your host, John Doogie Klauser.
All right. What's going on, everyone? How are you? We are here on the new episode of the Juan Solo Show with your host, me, Juan D. Klauser, or John D. Klauser, whichever one you prefer. It is whatever makes you happy. It doesn't matter. We're fluid here. I just want to say welcome to everyone. If you're new, thank you for showing up. If you are returning, again, thank you for showing up. So yeah, this podcast is weird because I'm doing it a little bit later than I normally do, just because I was procrastinating as always. There's always some dates I'm like, you know what, I should just get it done, get it over with. And this is what happens when I do it on nights that I work. I should never do it on nights that I work. If I do it during like a day that I have off, it'd be way smarter. Wouldn't you think that'd be a way smarter thing to do? Wouldn't you think, Joan? I think so too. I really do. But yeah, so weird. So I saw this. I was scrolling through the internet today, like you normally do, and I saw this meme. And sometimes, I see memes sometimes, and I screenshot them. I keep it. I go, whenever I'm searching all throughout the interwebs, if I find something interesting, I'll search it, I'll screenshot it, and then I'll keep it. And if I'm like, okay, do I need to do more research? So I'll start, digging around, searching around. And I was, so the meme was like these astrologists, or these, what's the exact terminology? Let me look it up, because I have it right here. Astronomers, one of those English words that's hard for me to pronounce. So apparently, there is a mysterious and incredibly intense blast of visible light that comes towards Earth, and it's coming from a black hole. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen Independence Day, but it's a little scary. But no, but the meme was basically saying that, these scientists, there's this black hole, and there's this beam of bright light that's being shot right to Earth. And so that shit, not much stuff scares me. I know I should be scared of, diseases and stuff like that. But I just assume that kind of shit just is going to occur eventually. It's you gotta understand, there's a lot of us, and some of us are not clean. There's animals that are not clean. There's people that don't want to keep certain animals clean, and meat gets dirty. Because they say, one of the biggest illnesses is, not handling food correctly. It's food handling, sicknesses. So, yeah, I just assume that this is probably going to happen eventually. Now, something like, an alien's coming or a black hole, those seems, I don't know why. You know what? I know why. Because there's us, there's you and I. We're here in this world, in a city, in a town, knowing a small group of people. Let's say we know at the most, and this is an exaggerated term, 20 people. 20 people, blah, blah, blah. No, I don't know. Maybe you are that social and you know more. God bless you. And so that's it. But then there's a bunch of other people who are just like us, blah blah blah, times that, blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. And then there's the theory where there is a bunch of us in other universes, living the exact same life, but just everything's slightly different. So I'm a girl. There's some that I am, instead of being Latino, I'm a white guy who lives in California, or lives in New York, or lives in Florida. Something like that is just weird. Just a different world. Or I live in not even just the United States. I could live in Switzerland. A white guy lives in Switzerland, and I'm the same guy, everything like that, but there's just certain things that are different. there's that theory. So, but those things seem so complex and so bigger than like I. And so I don't really like think about them that much. I'm just like, yeah, that's true. That could be true. That's an interesting theory. It's a lot bigger theory than I want to involve myself into. It's a bigger theory that I want to, that I can even like comprehend really. On some extent, I'm not even going to sit here and try to say that I comprehend it all. So because of that, I don't really think about it that much. You kind of have like this vague, like small brush stroke version of what it is. It looks like it's like a piece of paper that has a bunch of watercolors on it that are just kind of like all over the place. So it's like, it's something. It's kind of an idea. It's kind of a thought. It's kind of a thing, but it's nothing. It's just there. Unlike, there's other things a little bit more about, like, Susie, like down the street, like, I don't like Susie because she's a fucking drunk. There's things like that, which has a much concrete thesis, a very concrete, scenarios that have made your thesis or, your thesis stand up over arguments. So, like, to think that there's a black hole and there's a bright light that's shining through it and it's, like, directly on us. Now, I'm assuming, like, things like this have happened before. Now, that's as much, like, I did a little bit more research. They just say that there's this, there's just this black hole. A mysteriously incredible black hole. Discovery marks the furthest such event that scientists have ever said, as well as being the first time that astronomers have detected one using visible light. The latter was only possible because the jet is pointed almost directly at Earth. When it started getting closer to the black hole, they tore the shreds and blast when the can be dedicated throughout the universe. But yeah, all you gotta do is just Google black hole, bright light shining to Earth. But yeah, that thing's interesting. But yeah, it reminds me of like the part in Independence Day when all those people were up on the skyscraper and they're like welcoming the aliens, and the aliens opened the thing and they shot a laser down and killed them all. Then like just started targeting different places throughout the world and started killing all humans and stuff. Great movie. Did I guys ever tell you? Oh, this is interesting. Maybe interesting, maybe not be interesting. I don't know. It's kind of your thing, kind of your point of view, how you think of it. So I used to, the movie Independence Day. So I was Wendy Kurtzman. She was the sorry, I just had a completely fucking mind fart. She was the casting director for that movie, and I was her personal assistant for a while when I was in college. Great job, great gig. Always took massive dumps in her really nice bathrooms in her house that I think she got in a divorce from a guy who was a writer for some show. I know the show. I can't tell you. I'm not going to say the show because just in case, you never know. It's just better off not saying anything. But it's, just it's like one of those shows that had, a family and father, and the father touched kids. Anyway, so he ended up like, so not in the show, but in real life. And then he said that he's like, when he was asked, he's like, do you think that you shouldn't like younger boys? I think it was younger boys or younger girls. It doesn't matter. The one is still fucking gross. And he's like, well, what's your definition of too young? So whenever someone says something like that, you always know it's like, okay, well, you are like willing to really ride that line. And it's not even a line that it's when it's gross. Socially, we've all have just signed off on that, we just don't do that. That's not cool. We just don't do that anymore. Which is weird that they did that back in the Greeks did it a lot, which was interesting because they did it to grow the book, but it was just it's just molestation, dude. It's just fucking awful. It's just not a thing you should do to a human. It's just woof, because it's a ripple effect. It doesn't just affect that person. It affects those the kids that are raised with that, and then the spouse that is married to the person who had dealt with that. It's just a lot of different stuff. It's a lot of different stuff. But on a lighter note, I don't know if you guys follow much football. I am a Chiefs fan, if you can't tell. Chiefs stuff over here. If you can't tell right there, that is the Rams cheerleaders from the 96 season. Yeah, we'll just say 96. Anyway, so it's autographed, personally autographed, all that stuff. Anyway, so I'm a huge fan because, if you don't know, Rams, they used to be in St. Louis, which is part in Missouri, and I like Kansas City Chiefs, Missouri too. So when Missouri at one time had two football teams, one in the NFC, one in the AFC. So I never felt bad rooting for both teams. That's my thing. That's always been. And plus, I just love football. I just love football so much. I didn't see any lights on my recorder, so I was like, "Oh, that'd be great if I'm have 18 minutes left in this podcast, and I, don't have, I don't have any audio, but I'm like, I wouldn't be able to hear myself. That'd be the biggest thing. Yeah, so I just love football. Football's the greatest sport in the world, in my opinion. Football. Then I like football, and then soccer. It's fun. I can deal with the rolling around and all that stuff, even though it gets really annoying because I'm so used to football. People get the shit slammed into each other and getting up and dancing and moving on. It's just one of those things. But my Rams got Baker Mayfield, which I'm not upset about. It's hilarious actually because it's actually not that shocking to me. Being the Rams, we need something to jazz up because we're so bad this year. We're so bad. And it's LA, and you have to have someone coming to town. There's always that kind of feel. So it's well, what's going on next? It's so this makes sense that we went and got Baker Mayfield on the wire because he has to be released, and then there's the wire time where every team gets a chance to it's basically how the draft is, everyone has a 1 through 32, and then everybody gets a chance to you can pass on this wire and anything, that kind of thing. And the Rams picked him up because the Rams don't have anybody. The Rams have played. Matt Stafford is probably done. He's done for the season. And then Perkins, I guess he just shit the bed enough where we're well, we got to try the other guy. So we tried the other guy. He didn't do good last week. So we're oh shit, we'll just get Baker. And are we better than we were with the guys that we have? Yes. Now, besides Stafford's a way better quarterback, but Stafford's injured and he's done for the year. And because neck and head, he had what they say, this is what they're saying. They're saying he had a concussion, and then he did something to his neck the following week when he fell back because he landed on his back of his head weird and probably did hurt his neck. So it's one of those things, but I think it's probably both connected. Both things have probably got fucked up. Basically, in two games within 3 weeks, kind of thing. So here we are as Ram fans. And I'm okay. It's going to be interesting. I've watched Baker play. He went to Oklahoma. And, I saw him run, get chased by the cop. He got caught by a cop. Do you know that? So when he was a junior, I believe, in college, he was drunk. And he was at a party. And he was trying to leave the party. And some cops, stopped him. Or a cop stopped him and was like, "Hey, like, what's your name?" He's like, "I'm Baker Mayfield." He was just like, he was drunk, clearly drunk, and the guy was just talking to him, and then Baker just tried to bolt off, and the cop like was able to lunge and grab him by his legs and tackle him like a football player. It was great. It was a hilarious film. You should also Google that as well. See, if I was smart, I'd have one of those as my videos of the week, but probably won't. I have this like trippy video, but it is what it is. So yeah, we have. So I've seen him play. He was always undersized. He was a walk-on, and he ended up winning the Heisman. He's a great player. He has that mindset, but he doesn't get out of his goddamn way because he has a fucking mouth on him. He's arrogant. He's cocky because he's worked really hard to get what he's got. That's not the most proper way of saying it. To get what he has. And because of that, he has this chip on his shoulder. It's like, well, you can't tell me what to do because like what I've been doing has gotten me here so far, which is fair, which is totally fair to think that, totally fair to feel like that, totally fair. But you come off like a horse's ass, and so he has fucked up 2 fucking locker rooms. I just think he wasn't aware very much at the very end of his time. And granted, he was the only quarterback in the last 20 years to take the Bears to the playoffs, not the Bears, but the Browns to the playoffs, and then also win a game in the playoffs. And then next season they ship him out of town. They just don't like him anymore. Like, get the fuck out of here, dog. Granted, he is kind of a horse's ass. I like to think that maybe going to some place like the Rams, which is like an established location, not the greatest location right now because our record's not that great. But because what we have done in the last couple of years, the players that we have, the wide receivers that we have, the running backs that we kind of have, having Baker in there, he is a guy who can throw the ball short, medium throws. I don't expect him to throw anything like a Patrick Mahomes. I don't expect him to do anything like that. I don't expect him to run like Lamar Jackson. I don't expect him to do any of that stuff. None of that stuff. None. It's just, woof. Let's just hope that it can just, hope it works, But, hey. It's a lost season anyway. I kind of look at that. I always have the Chiefs. You can tell, like, this whole table has all Chiefs stuff on it except one Ram thing. And then up there, my Ram stuff. And I have, like, bunch of different. I don't know if I even talked about this table. Like, I have all like my football shit. It's like has like football stickers. It has like helmets that are signed. It has my high school helmet that I have from the year that we won state. My state football ring. I've been on a state championship team. Whoop-de-doo, right? Yeah. But so here we are, and yeah. But yeah, it's just we'll see how it all goes. We'll see how it all goes. I'm just like, well, I don't expect much. My expectations are pretty low, and they're probably gonna get absolutely demolished. I have a feeling. Demolished. So what else do I have? The Fleetwood Mac lady died. That's always interesting. The song. So it was always. I have a love, not love hate relationship. I don't know very many Fleetwood Mac songs to begin with. The only one I really know about is the "Go Your Own Way" song, because back in the day, long time ago. This is back a long time ago. I was dating this Puerto Rican girl, right? And great girl, fun girl. I think she's a lawyer now. Anyway, that's besides the point. So we were dating, and she like puts the song on, and then she's like, I was just thinking like maybe we can, maybe not like date anymore. I'm like, okay. And she's like, yeah, like this song just kind of like expresses how I feel about it. I'm like, okay, that's cool. And like, I don't know why you did this. Like, you could have just said this. You didn't have to put this song on. And so now every time I hear that song, I just go back to that house in Bel Air that her parents own, and the dog's downstairs barking, "Arr, rah, rah, rah," and her abuela, is in the like downstairs like, "Oh, shut up, dog, shut up, dog," and then there's just me listening to this song. You go your own way, and this girl's like breaking up. I'm like, this is like, God damn it, like why does this has to happen in this way? It's this is so goddamn awkward and weird. Like, there's a million other ways how this could have just been done. Like, she could have texted me. Like, I didn't have to drive. I didn't have to drive there. I didn't have to drive. Like, dude, I was living in Culver City at the time. Culver City to Beverly Hills. Some of y'all understand how that is. That's hell. It doesn't matter what time of the day it is. That's a hell drive. That's a hell drive. You're sitting there like, this should have only took me 15 minutes at most. Maybe at most if I fucking took a wrong turn. But now I'm sitting here. It's been 30 minutes. It's been 37 minutes. It's been an hour and 2 minutes. Like, how in the hell did this happen? And you're just like, you just creep. And you're like, oh, you're almost there. You're like, you see that you're like 2 from the light. And you're like, I'm going to get past this. And those 2 other cars go. And then it goes boom. And it goes cut right to red so fast. And you're like, wow, how does the earth, how does the universe, how does anything, how does whatever it is hate us here in LA so much? But yeah, and then you listen, then you're sitting there, and then like the Fleetwood Mac song comes on, and you're like, God damn it! But it was a great time, dude. She had hair like it was like a pool of eels. Like, her hair was so long and black, it was insane. It was just like a bunch of eels coming out of her head. That might have been the weirdest way to describe her, and some of you might have thought, like, are you saying she's like Medusa? And I'm like, kinda for ruining a song, even though I don't really like music. She's still like, that's still kind of an asshole thing to do, because think about if I was someone who does like music, and then I was like, well, thanks, you just ruined that song for me. I thought it was, now, of course, now being quite a bit older, not knowing anything about this woman anymore in my life, she's just like a little blip. She's like a little bubble in my life. Do you guys ever think about that? Like, the people who, like, these people who have had, like, you'll have little blips with, and you ever think about, like, what they're doing? Or you might be friends with them on Facebook or on Instagram, and they'll, like, post something, and they're doing something completely different than what you thought they were, or even if it's something you thought they were doing. You see them in it, and you see, like, them living a life, and you see, like, the whole structure of, like, you know, the background of something elaborate, because, you know, a lot of people take elaborate pictures for social media, and then you, like, kind of weirdly put yourself into that moment with them, and you think about, like, what are the things that went wrong. I don't know, this is what I do, but I also do this because I also think, like, it helps with writing. I think this is just what my opinion is. It's really fun. Daydreaming is a really fun way to daydream, and you can have a little fun. You can go off in your head, and it's a good time. Probably something on the spectrum. There's some level of it probably on the spectrum, or just getting in the head too much. You know, one of the two. It's one of the two. And you think about it, or you think about, like, the moments you had with that person, and how you and that person had these moments, and you'll try to sometimes some people try to recreate it, but you can never recreate it, because you and that person were the only 2 people that can have those kind of moments together, because that's how you guys strum the rhythm of the moment with each other. And it's interesting, and then you think about it. I don't know. I think about these times because, like, I ran across this girl, this Middle Eastern woman, who I used to date, and because, like, even when I was listening, like, this, like, I guess we're talking about 2 different women I've dated now, but yeah, like this like Puerto Rican girl and then like this Middle Eastern woman. And I just like think about it. I'm like, oh my god, I wonder how you're doing. I'm like, I hope you're doing great. Like I have just no anger, no hatred, nothing like that. Because I think that's such a waste of time. It's way cooler to like have a sense of like, oh yeah, I had a moment with this person. Like you saw how like sometimes you get lucky and you see how they put butter on toast. Sometimes you shower with them. Sometimes you guys just simply just go out and bowl and drink Miller Lights. Like it's and it's not with anything. It's like with anybody, even like friendships. And but you think about these things and like you move away. Somebody gets married. Someone gets pregnant. Someone has a kid. Or whatever, like family member dies, they inherit like some house and they do their own thing, like do that, they have to do that now, or like family member is getting sick, and then you have moments with this person, and you have moments with these people, and you think about them, and you're like, interesting, like how would it be if like I was still having these moments, but then like those moments wouldn't be significant if you were still having more moments. But then you have them. I don't know. I'm trying to think real deep on some dumb shit that like is stupid because I'm not intelligent enough to be thinking like this. It's so funny. I try to write stories like this, and I'm not ever be. I can't. But that's how I think. I think like that. But I also think because being abandoned, I have these thoughts of abandon. It's levels of feeling abandonment. I think that's what's bubbling to the surface, and that's what's rising, and it's me trying to find ways to cope. And I really do think that's really what it is, and it's probably what somebody who psychoanalyzes people would probably say. It's like, you're probably just trying to find a way to feel a level of comfort because you were abandoned when you were young, and because of that you now seek comfort from everyone or people. You try to have them be a source of comfort, and when that doesn't happen, you hold on to it like it's it's like a cut, and like you're always like putting a band-aid over it, so you're always like thinking about it, and it's always on your list of priorities. It's like, yeah, well, maybe I am, okay, but you don't. At least I go when I work out instead of doing, a bunch of meth. So it could be way worse. You fucking dick. It's like, I drink a bunch of protein shakes and I eat rice and meat and I, do that. And that's how I cope. And I do this podcast and try to get people to pay attention to me. I know if you're gonna do. It's a new voice. I've never done that voice before. I'm not going to lie to you. And it sounds a little like Barney. I thought it sounded a little like Barney. But yeah, what are we at? I have just about a minute left. You guys got this far. Good God. Good golly, Miss Molly. Thank you. Thank God I got this fucking podcast done. Now I can do this. Now I can go. And the next thing I'm going to do, and I can write a little bit. Do a soft 300 words. 300 words. Blah, 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 blah. Bullshit. Probably won't be anything. Probably won't be anything I'll ever use. But if you've gotten this far, thank you so much. Like, comment, subscribe if you want. Tell a friend. Tell 3 friends, because if you tell a friend, they'll tell a friend, and they'll tell another friend, and like that's how it works. But anyway, thanks so much. Be safe. We're getting close to Christmas and Hanukkah, guys. Hanukkah's coming soon. Hanukkah and then Christmas. All right. Well, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Bye. Oh, should I just chug this? I have I have 10 seconds left, so I guess I'll